Alright, chat, check this out. This is what I was talking to you guys about. This is when you know you're in the Matrix, bro.
Oh my
Watch.
God, dude.
The guy leaves, going home to work, from work, going home. Says bye to his coworkers and shit. Then he opens the door from his house, and it's the same door. Then he leads him back into work, bro. So he's all freaking out. Bro, this video is kind of true, though, bro. Like, think about it, bro. Like, don't you ever get some days, like, where you wake up, like, and you go to work, and you're literally walking to work, and you're like, bro, I was just, how? Like, I feel like I just went to lunch, and I came back, and I'm already at work again. When
That's
literally
me.
you're off for like 6 hours.
Dude, that happens to me when I have a day off in between, bro.
Yeah.
Like, even in weekend.
Hate that, bro.
Yeah. Oh my God, I don't know if you guys have the same thing, but the Sundays before work.
Yes,
oh
yes.
My
we
God,
talked about
bro.
this one time. Off
That
the pod.
shit makes me so depressed.
It does.
Chat, let me know if you guys feel the same way. The Sunday before, do you get depressed because you got to go into work the next day? Because I'll be getting that shit. I'll be just sitting at home. I'm like, what should I be doing? Seems like everybody's out and about. All the kids, the dogs, neighbors, everybody's having fun. And I'm over here sitting in my room just like dreading work.
Just dreading work, yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks, dude. I don't think we should ever get to our point in life where we're sitting there on a Sunday thinking about, like, dude, I only have a few more hours before I have to go to sleep and I got to go to work.
Oh my God, bro. That countdown
I
is so
hate
stressful.
that, dude. It's the most stressful countdown ever.
Yeah. You don't even want to count down. You're like, why am I thinking like this? I still have the weekend.
Yeah.
But somebody made an IG post. They said, like, the Friday evening is the best part about the weekend. It's not even the weekend itself that's the best. It's just that Friday evening.
Yeah.
It's like that feeling of freedom you have.
Exactly. This is the one thing I hate is one of my homies, RIP to him, but he would always tell me, dude, every time we would play Fortnite together, he'd be like, you know what I hate the most? I'm like, what happened? He goes, I hate Fridays. I'm like, why? He goes, I hate Fridays because as soon as you clock off, your weekend's over. I'm like, dude, are you serious, bro? Like, because then that gets stuck in your mind.
He had a point. R.I.P. to homie. He was aware of that shit.
Yeah. He's passed on to his better part of his life.
Yeah, no more suffering.
No more suffering and all this. He's in a better place. But, dude, ever since he told me that, I'm like, damn, bro, my life has changed, bro. My perspective on work has changed. I feel like it's worse.
I think I talked about it on the pod. I was like, the best part is that Friday evening.
It is, but then as soon as it gets like, it sucks because I don't want to say it out loud because it's gonna manifest. But as soon as tonight is over, bro, it's gonna be Monday already.
Yeah.
And it's gonna suck. Like, we're not complaining. Like, I know maybe people take it the wrong way. Like, oh, at least you have a job. It's cool. Yeah, I have a job, but I feel like there's more to life than having to wake up Monday through Friday or whatever your schedule is and just go to work. Like, that shouldn't be your life. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to slave away for the rest of your life.
It's crazy you bring that up because I was having the same exact thought, but I thought of it from a different angle, right? Okay, so I was thinking about that. They programmed us into being like, oh, be grateful you have a job, which, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, right? We're living a good life. But they manufactured us to think this way because you know what they do? The government, they mess up these other countries. They put other people into poverty, right? And then they enslave us, and then they want us to be grateful.
They want us to be
and
grateful,
it's all manufactured.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that shit. I was like, yo, what the fuck? This is crazy, bro. They go fuck shit up everywhere else. They don't let it run properly. And then they got us enslaved over here, and they're telling us to be grateful for that shit. It's a psyop, bro.
I didn't think about that until you brought it up. I never thought about it like that.
Isn't that fucking
it's
crazy?
True. It's the truth, dude. Like, you think about it. Like, they go into other countries or other places, they will wreck that place up, dude. Just wreck it. And then it's crazy because it works both ways, right? They'll go in and wreck that place. People over there are trying their hardest to come over here, or they'll say, like, oh, you guys are lucky you guys have this life or this grandeur, or you guys are working, blah, blah, but then you're over here and you're slaving away, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, it sucks. Like, you don't want to be on the receiving end of getting, like, being in a country where it just gets
Poverty,
completely wrecked,
yeah.
poverty, you know, like that. But you also don't want to be on this side where you're just like slaving away. Like, what's the whole point?
Yeah, because like the way I think about things, it's been shifting a lot.
It
I've
is.
noticed like the more I think about shit, some people they're gonna look at me, they're gonna be like, "Yo, this fool's mental, right?"
Yeah.
But like if you
it's the
actually,
truth.
if you think about it from this perspective, it makes sense. Because I read this book by Bill Cooper, and he was saying that if we really want, everybody could have food and shelter.
Mhm.
But the reason we don't is because there's a few people that become greedy and they want everything, and they create these kind of situations and to where a lot of people are suffering and they get to reap the rewards, and they make sure nobody else comes up.
Mhm.
Because if you think about it, bro, a lot of people, they're in that poverty mindset, but if you think about it, there's abundance everywhere. We can have everything. Everybody can have what they need, right?
At least the basic necessities, like
Exactly.
food, water, shelter,
And not be a slave to their
and not
job.
be a slave to the job.
Because these guys, if you think about the financial system, it's all manufactured. Who gets to decide what's worth what? You get me?
It's the people at the top that decide
Yeah.
that.
Like if I want to go buy something, like how do I know it's worth that much, right? It's all based off a social construct.
Mhm.
Whatever somebody says it's worth, that's what we're gonna go off of.
I agree.
Because everything becomes what the collective agree to.
Mhm.
You know. So like I hope you guys think about what I said. Hopefully you guys just don't write it off as me being stupid or dumb. You know.
So, what you just said about how people at the top, they're just greedy and stuff like that. So this guy goes to Italy, right? And he asks these. I want to say they're bosses, like they're bosses of a company.
Is it that watch company?
I don't know if it is or not, but he literally asks. He goes, the caption goes, Italians live 4 years longer than the average person, and are happier because of their work culture, right? And so the guy, he's interviewing the CEO and these other big executives in this company, asking him like, why aren't you guys like the bosses in the U.S.? Like you guys can become richer, wealthier, and stuff like that. That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you know, to summarize the video, what this guy was showing is, in the video, is that the guy interviews them and says, why aren't you guys? You guys can be rich like the American bosses. And the lady's like, for what? What's the point of being rich? The point is going to work and seeing your coworkers and working with them, seeing them happy, seeing them smile. And then she goes pretty much just on a rant telling like, you know, you just got to make sure like your work environment's good, your employees are happy, and then it's important for them to take vacation so they're not stressed constantly. And then he asks other people like, do you ever get sick? And she goes, you know, other people like, no, I never get sick. One lady's like, I never get sick because I'm always at the beach. I go to the beach and stuff like that. And then they go on a 2 hour, then they take the lunch. It's 2 hours. It's crazy, bro. And like these bosses don't care about paying them vacation and stuff like that. I feel like that's how our work environment should be, bro. Like I noticed like today I saw another article that countries in Asia are experimenting with 4-day work weeks. So I think there's already it's starting to shift, bro. Maybe I'm hoping it gets like that over here too, but it's crazy, bro. Like, you know, working like 10-hour days, dude. Like one of the homies today at the gym, and like, you know what? I don't want to. Yeah. He asked me. He goes, "Oh, like, what's your normal work day look like, work wise?" And I told him. He goes, "Bro, you work 10 hours a day." And in my mind, it never clicks because I go in, punch in, and punch out. But until someone tells me, bro, you work 10 hours a day, I'm like, fuck, you're right. I do work 10 hours a day. It sucks, you know? That's all of your day, dude.
People are ungrateful.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even grateful for your efforts.
They're not, man.
Yeah.
I've noticed a big change, too. Like, a lot of people, like, on IG or a lot of people I talk to or that I follow that I'm cool with, I feel like they're slowly starting to realize the work mentality, like the way we think. People are starting to think
out of it, yeah.
They're trying to break out of it, bro. Like slowly, I've been talking to people and they've been telling me the same thing, that they're trying to get out. Yeah. They're trying to get out. They're trying to get better, not even better jobs, but they're trying to get out of the 9 to 5.
It's not normal because the way the people at the top they treat them as sheep.
Yeah.
They treat them as disposable.
Disposable, yeah.
They say what they want to say. They'll soften it, whatever they want to do. They'll try to sweeten their words, but at the end of the day, you can see from the actions that they could care less. They say all this mumbo jumbo corporate nonsense, but then when it comes to their actions, it's a total 360, 180.
I agree. I mean, maybe we have it better now than we did back in like the early America, when they would have like companies run, like you know how like growing up they told us about history, how like you would have companies that would pay their employees in the company currency, and you can only spend them at the company store. Like that would suck, bro, because like you wouldn't have money. Like there was no real money where you can go spend it everywhere. You can only spend it at that certain company. So you were locked in to that company. That kind of sucks, because you almost feel like a slave at that point. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, the system can fall so easy. People don't know. All it takes is collective people to not care. Like for them to decide living like this is worse than suffering.
Worse than suffering, yeah.
Yeah. So then it takes that, and then the whole system falls. But there's a lot of people I notice they're hypocrites. They're gonna try to say be grateful and all that. They don't even like their jobs. They'll go do something to numb themselves.
I agree.
That's one thing a lot of people do. It's like outside of work, all this other activity they're doing is to numb themselves. And then that's why you need all these people like with therapists and stuff like that. That's where you get all this stuff. I used to wonder why people dread going to like a 9 to 5, and then when I experienced it, I realized how much it kills your soul just sitting there. And it's like it's a different type of tiring. It like tires you out mentally to the point where you don't want to do anything else. Yeah. And I was like, that's how the system keeps you enslaved.
This whole last 2 weeks, bro, I've been feeling like that. Like I walk around my work, literally just telling myself, like, every time I'm walking around, like, I'm like, dude, this place is sucking my soul away. Yeah. Literally, it feels like it's sucking my soul away.
Well, I remember you texted in the group chat, and then I was like, yeah, welcome to the club, because me and my other homies, we were talking about that shit. Like, he couldn't even, because we go boxing and shit. He's like, bro, before he was like chilling, and then slowly I noticed when he got the job, it's getting to him, and I could see it on him. And
it wears you down, bro.
Yeah. And then I saw another homie, he just got off work too, and he was walking to the boxing gym, like we're getting ready to fight. You gotta be hyped up, right? But bro was walking in there. He looked like a zombie, bro. And I was like, what's going on,
bro?
And then he's like, nothing, brother. He's like, brother, I'm tired, bro. He's like, I just got done doing an 8-hour shift, like just working hella hard. I was like, this fucks people up.
You know what's crazy is that last week on Thursday when I was at the fighting gym, I was tired, bro. And my partner and my other homie they noticed the same thing. I walked in, bro, just fucking, just out of it. And I told my homies that, bro, I'm gonna try my hardest to be here, but mentally I'm not here, man. Yeah. Like I'm just drained. And they're like, what happened? I was like, just work, you know. And then Coach heard it. He goes, it's up to you, man. If you really want to go home, you can go home, or you can be here, you know. And I was like, fuck. I was like, no, I'm gonna thug it out. I got you, Coach. And then we were sparring, and homie, we started sparring, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep it light, bro. And he goes, oh, for sure, we'll keep it light. And after we got done sparring, he goes, dude, I don't know what the hell's going on with you mentally today, bro. Like, I know you said your work is kicking your ass. He goes, bro, but I could tell your sparring you're off. You're hella off. He goes, I think you need he literally told me, he goes, I think you need to take a week off, or at least a few days off. And honestly, bro, that helped, because I took a week off. I came back. Today was my first day here and over there. I felt refreshed, bro, because people don't realize how much work affects you mentally, bro. Like, we shouldn't have to go home from work to home feeling dead tired like that. Like, we shouldn't have to feel unmotivated to do anything, bro. Like, we should never get that feeling. We should be able to clock off of work and be like, oh, let's go hang out with the homies, or I'm gonna go hit the gym today, or I'm gonna go hang out with my girl or my kids or my wife. You know, like, we should never have to have that feeling like I'm done. Like all my mental capacity or my battery's completely drained out. We should never have We should never have that feeling.
Sadly, the Matrix was designed like that on purpose. Because, dude, I have a feeling a lot of research went into this type of stuff.
I think so too, bro.
Because, like, the way it all, like, adds up, it's like, yo, things aren't making sense here.
No. And if you think about it, bro, it's on a larger scale because, so you have the Matrix, right? Like, think about it like this, right? It all starts off in the morning, right? You wake up, you're in a rush to go to the Matrix because you're overslept, because you're hella tired, right? What's the first thing you do? You're hungry, right? You don't have time, quote unquote, to get food or drink at home. You go to the drive-thru, right? Then you go to the Matrix. They zombie you out at the Matrix. You're dead with your mind. Then you leave the Matrix, right? You go home. If you're too lazy, or not even too lazy, if you're too mentally tired or just tired to go cook, what's the first thing you can do? Go to the drive-thru again. Bro, so like on top of the Matrix keeping you like that, bro, they also have us controlled like that with our food too, bro.
Facts, bro.
So it was, dude, it's literally like, I think it was all planned out like that, bro, for a reason, dude. Bro. For a reason.
People like Joe Rogan a lot, but he said these old people can't be smart like that. But he doesn't realize it's not just these old people. It's been going on for centuries. It's been going on
for centuries, bro.
It's like these guys, I don't know, they play dumb on purpose, and not only that, they gaslight you into thinking that you're tripping out.
You're tripping out.
They make you think that you're stupid. You're the one that's stupid, but nah, bro. God's giving you a mind, bro. Use that shit. You know, don't just fall for like the system, what they want you to believe. It's all fucking bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all a big ass scheme, bro. Like
hella gaslight, dude. They manipulate the fuck out of people. They're like making you think like you need to go to like a psych ward or shit like that, or like people are gonna look at you like you're not right, but you know.
But in fact, you're the one that's right, and everybody else around you is not right.
You woke up, but everybody else is fucking zombie hypnotized.
Yeah, and what's worse is that once, so like say you do go to like a psych or whatever, you go to counseling, right? Because your job is messing you up mentally or whatever. Then they start putting you on pills and shit, dude.
Exactly, bro.
And that's when they have more control. So on top of the food that you consume, and the job, then they start putting the drugs in your system. Yeah. So after all three of those already they got you in the palm of their hands, bro. You're cooked at that point. So you're right, bro. I think they did scheme this whole thing out, dude.
Yup.
They did. There's no other way around it, man.
No.
Yeah.
They got you wrapped up in wanting to pay bills, and then what are they gonna tell people, right? They're telling people focus on mental health, right? But they're not telling them to exercise. The only people you see saying to exercise is people that are on social media and stuff, like small accounts.
You know what? You're right. I didn't think about that. You're absolutely right. Like they tell you like focus on your mental health, but they don't think about like part of your mental health is exercising, like because you're releasing chemicals that make you feel good. Yeah, so they don't tell you that.
I bet like if I didn't exercise, I bet you I'd have been just like these other like sheeps being like herded around, you get me? Like these other people that just go out to bars, whatever they want to do with their homies, just keep repeating the same cycle. A lot of these people, they're messed up in the head, and they don't even realize why, because they don't want to think about it.
No, they don't. They use that as an easy escape.
Yeah.
The alcohol.
It's like I said, it's like to numb themselves, to deal with the shit. You know, it's just like the homeless people. A lot of people think, I mean, some might be doing recreationally, but there are homeless people to deal with the outside conditions. They have to numb themselves with the drugs.
With the drugs, yeah.
Same thing in the military. Sometimes, like, there's a lot of stories about when they're in war, they're shooting up morphine and shit to go, like, be able to, like, get the job done.
Get the job done, yeah. That's facts.
Yeah. It's all orchestrated. Everything, every single thing is planned. A lot of people, like, it's funny, dude. My friends, they'll be saying shit like, "Oh, you don't know what's you don't know what's going on." But they kind of look at me funny when I start talking about it, because they're like, "Yo, there this guy goes again talking about this." But like, when you start becoming aware, like it's like, how do I explain it? It's like, you're just walking among zombies, man. Just walking among the Walking Dead.
You know what it seems like? Yeah, I was going to say, it actually reminds me of, because once that light bulb flickered for me, bro, like, it's not that you think you're better than people. It's more of like, when you're playing Call of Duty, right? like there's a like, or like you're like, yeah, you're just literally walking around, like you're in the Call of Duty, you're not the zombie, but you're not getting attacked, but you're just walking around all these people just mindless.
Yeah.
They're just stuck. They're just stuck is what it is, you know. Like it's not, I don't know, man. I just think it's a very unhealthy state that everybody's in.
The crazy thing is they don't realize it.
You don't.
You know, from reading Twitter comments and shit, how brainwashed people are. It's man, I don't know.
I don't know.
And then it reminds me, because I was watching, remember that church video I sent you today? We were talking about his favorite subject, about how these mega church corporations, they're scams.
No, dude, they're a huge scam.
Bro,
dude.
I saw these fools, they're in the churches with their hands up. They're all standing there with their arms up, like, saying things. I forgot, they were getting hyped up. And then I saw this one lady, she's on the ground laying down. I was like, yo, what the hell happened to her, bro? But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so like it goes to show like people, they're so they're kind of brainwashed and stuff by people that are ready to take advantage of them. So this guy like Joel Osteen, he has a mega church, and these people are falling for his tricks and shit. And in the video, Tyler Oliveira, he did a great job of exposing.
Right there, guys. That's the video.
He did a great job of exposing these mega churches and how they're stealing money from people. Like, he showed one of the churches, they didn't really have any Bibles. They just had the what's that fool called? The preacher, whatever you want to call him. They just had a hell of his books, hella merchandise, and then like in their sermons, they kept saying, the Lord wants you to spend your money. Lord says the more you spend for Him, the more you're gonna get. But like, it's crazy because we were talking about this, I think 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about how much these guys, they take from people. Yeah. So if you go to a church, don't give your money to a church like that, okay? Because these guys, they're already getting tax write-offs and all that bullshit. These guys, they're fucking living their best life doing who knows what. Go give your money to actual people that are homeless, or like through an organization that you know will for sure give your money to help people in need.
Even then, I'm very skeptical, even if it's giving money to homeless or giving money to organizations, because
like Red Cross, you know, they ain't gonna,
it's hard to figure out who and who. So what I would recommend doing is, like, for example, personally me, like if someone goes up to me and says, hey, I need some money for food, I'm like, oh, perfect, what do you want to eat? Like I'll go like, what do you want to eat? Like, are you picky or what? No? Okay, perfect, I'm gonna go get you a meal. Like I remember one time I was at the bank, right? And I seen some fool digging for trash or whatever in the trash can. And he asked me for some money. And I was like, look, man, I'm not going to get you any money because I know you're going to use it for illicit things. I was like, if you're hungry, I'll go get you food. And he goes, yeah, I am really hungry. I was like, perfect, I'll be right back. So I went to McDonald's, bro. I got him fucking at least, like, I think I want to say like 6 McDoubles, 2 orders of chicken nuggets, and then 2 large fries and a big ass soda. I brought it back to him. He was hella happy. I was like, look, man, I'd rather give you this because I know you're going to eat versus me giving you money. I don't know if you're going to go spend it on liquor or drugs. Yeah. For me, I'd rather do it that way. Yeah. Because I know that then it's up to me to go get them food or whatever it is, drink, whatever, soda. But because, like, you never know. You know what I mean? And even with organizations, bro, you really don't know where the money's going.
Yeah, that's why I said make sure to do
your research on where you're donating. Yeah. Exactly. So
don't give it to no preacher just yelling out amen.
Yeah. What's crazy is that a lot of these priests or preachers or whatever you call them, they'll use, like, for example, like medical conditions that people have. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, he can if he just prays on you for X amount of time, he can cure your cancer, or he can cure this, or he can cure that, or whatever have you." But it's all fake, dude. Like, they're using scams. And maybe, granted, don't get me wrong, maybe there are people who are gifted out there who can do that. But come on, dude, if you go to every single, how many churches, especially if you go to, like, one of my homies lives in Texas, he goes, dude, we literally live in the church belt. So the way you guys have Starbucks set up here is the way we have churches out there. There's a church on every corner. So can you imagine going to every single church, especially like in a Bible country or in Bible country? Like, you're gonna meet if there's a church on every corner. You're telling me every preacher can cure a miracle, bro? We'd have no diseases.
100, bro.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy, bro. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and of all the examples he used, why the guy use that example?
Yeah.
Like, what the?
That makes no
Low-key, it
sense.
seems like he's mocking the
He's
people.
mocking the people, yeah.
And then what else? What else was I gonna? Oh yeah, and then Joel Osteen, that fool low-key looks like Gavin Newsom. They might be related, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another preacher. He looks like the devil straight up.
Oh, the old
one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bro, he looks like a devil, bro.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Man, I don't know how people are falling for that shit, bro.
You know what? You know why? It goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Hypnosis.
It's hypnosis, but it's also an escape, bro.
Yeah, low key.
It's an escape, dude.
A lot of people are like in a desperate place.
Exactly. So like it falls back into that.
Vulnerable people.
Like you have this. It's like a spectrum, bro. Like you have the people who are going out and drinking, and like they're just doing bullshit stuff or stupid stuff. And then on the opposite side, you got the homies that are like really, like, oh, we go to church every Sunday, but we go to this kind of church that's like a scammy church, you know, whatever. It doesn't even need to be a scam church, but it could be just like a church, you know, like that, you know, that has those kind of preachers. But it's an escape from that 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Whether it's you're going out with the homies and getting drunk or you go to church. But it's you know, and I'm not saying religious is a scam. No, I'm just saying like churches
the people that run these
organizations. You know,
and it's not even all churches. We're just saying some of these churches, like blatantly corrupt churches. You know, for a damn fact they're robbing people.
Yeah, left and right. Yeah. But it's because people are put in a bad state or they're in a bad state.
Yeah.
So they have to resort to, you know, churches like that.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks. Because in our reality, how do you get out of that? Like if you're already
honestly, I wouldn't. I'll just go to a different church.
But what if like you're so wrapped up into it? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, that comes to delusion, like mass hypnosis. They're just hypnotized.
They're just hypnotized, dude. Yeah. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's how you hear about a lot of cults. Cults too. That's how cults start. Like these people, they say they have divine power, and then they start a whole group, and then they start going down a crazy path. There's endless stories of that.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna join any cult, join our cult. Shameless plug.
Mm-hmm.
The
Lostqaz.
Yeah. Right now we're trying to get the Bitcoin cult going, and then SPX 6900.
Yeah.
That's one thing I want to touch on real quick.
Go for it.
So if anybody's investing, I recommend. This is not financial advice. Look into SPX 6900. You need to look into these meme coin type cults if you want to get balling. At least I think, because I'm seeing everybody, all these crypto people, they're all scammers. They're all rug pulling the shit out of people. The only community that I've seen that's good is SPX 6900, because I started buying like at $1, and it tanked. Like even with the tariffs news, let's say it went to 40 cents, but I kept buying, and out of all the memes and stuff, this shit, it came back to $1, bro.
I say.
And I like the philosophy, the whole cult of SPX 6900. They, like, if you post a chart, these people, they'll block you, because their whole thing is we're not looking at charts, we're just part of movement. And then they say everybody should share, promote it. So you got all these people, they're doing like, they're promoting the coin they're buying, right? And it's like a collective cause. And then you got cool memes coming out of them, and then just the whole community's badass. They just keep posting about it, like no matter what. There's not, the thing that separates this from other communities is other communities are kind of negative, but this one's like positive. And like no matter what, these guys are holding. I mean, obviously everybody has to sell some at one point, but
yeah,
why, out of all the meme coins, why not like go with something like that?
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know. That was my way of shilling SPX 6900, because I just saw the Murad video, I want to say like a couple of months ago, and then I started buying, and then when I started scrolling through, and I saw the price. I mean, they say not to look at the price action, but I saw the whole philosophy behind it, and I was like, why not? Because like people are buying into the S&P 500. That's just like a boomer cult, bro.
It is a boomer cult.
Even if you think about stocks, that's all fake valuations, right? We're not. If you want to think about it in a practical sense, we're not buying anything. We're not owners of a company.
Jack shit.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying about the valuations we give things, right? It's all becomes a collective agreement. Like, this is worth that much, you know. So if we're buying things based off that, why don't you, like, you know, expand your mind and go towards things like that. Because that's one thing I like about crypto. Expose the whole fucking monetary system.
Facts. I just put my cousins on crypto this
for
last
real?
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you guys should get into it if you guys don't have it. And they're like, no, we don't. We want to get into Bitcoin, but we just don't know where to start.
Mm.
And then that's when they asked me. They're like, hey, you got crypto? And I was like, yeah. And then as soon as we parked, bro, when we were at the winery, they were pulling out their phones. They're like, hey, so like, what do we look for? So they were literally taking notes as I was telling them, bro.
Oh, shit.
So they were interested, bro.
That's
In
good.
fact, they downloaded X and they started their, what's it called? Coinbase
Yeah.
wallet.
That's good, man.
So, and I was like, once you want to get riskier shit, I'll show you guys some other stuff. I'm not really good at it, so you guys might have to do your own research.
Yeah.
But I put them on the same resources that I got.
That's good, bro.
So the same people I follow on Twitter and shit is I put them on.
Yeah. So like, if you guys haven't looked into Bitcoin, I recommend looking into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
My regret is not buying. I should have bought it while I had the chance, but
I should have bought more of it myself.
yeah, because I was over here preaching to everybody like around me. I was like, buy Bitcoin and shit, and then I didn't buy as much as I should have. So
okay. It happens,
because
bro.
the crazy part is I was a heavy believer in that shit, like heavy. But my thing is I get caught up in greed, so I was waiting for it to tank, but it didn't.
It happens, though. It's just normal.
But I did buy, like,
I switched,
bro.
bro.
I tried buying.
I switched. I was a non-believer. You can ask him, and I switched, dude. I switched.
Cause like a lot of these old financial experts, bro, they just try to downplay shit, and then once they get the word that shit it's gonna actually go, they buy before everybody else, and then everybody else gets left in the dust, bro. So luckily I foresight. I was like, but my whole thing was like trying to get enough money, because the whole thing is trying to earn money to buy some. Cause I didn't really have money to play with, but
facts.
But yeah, so.
But do your own research. Don't take our advice for it.
Yeah, we're not financial advisors, but either way, you can't ignore it. Because I have friends, I've told countless people, they ignore it. But then the higher it goes, the more they say it's not real. But it goes back to what I was saying. The whole system's fake as shit.
That is true. And the argument people have is that, okay, well, the dollar is real, and crypto is not. But if you really think about it, how is the dollar real? The dollar isn't real. It's not really worth the money. It's not really worth what it's printed on. It's a piece of paper.
No.
Like, the only reason the dollar is worth something is because we give it that value.
Exactly.
Tomorrow we can wake up and the value and that dollar is worth nothing. Mm-hmm. And something else could be worth more money. So, like, you just gotta wait, realize that it's all just a game. It's literally just a game. Like, but at the very least with your cryptocurrency, like, I mean, you have countries backing it, like their currency with crypto, so it's becoming a real movement. It's becoming real. Yeah. So it's pretty sooner or later that dollar that we have physically, it's gonna go away. It's gonna become crypto. That's gonna be the future of it.
Like, what are they saying? They got rid of the penny or something?
They got rid of the penny, yeah.
It's costing too much.
It's costing too much. So, like, you can slowly start seeing it. Like, what's going to be next? The dollar's going to be taken away because it's cost too much to print more than it's worth. So, realistically, the next thing is a virtual currency. Why would they try to make up their own virtual currency if there's already currencies out there? Yeah. Like Bitcoin. So, that's my 2 cents of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it goes back, all these guys, they lie about shit.
They do.
So if you're gonna look into shit, they're gonna tell you don't buy meme coins, whatever. But sometimes meme coins, you might want to take the risk, because it all comes down to you never know what can play out in your favor. But you can't go wrong with Bitcoin. That's the most important asset you should be trying to get. Yeah. Because you saw the whole thing with what they're saying about Zillow and Redfin. Yeah. It's insane. They're saying these home prices were way overvalued, and now they're falling, man.
Now they're falling, yeah.
Because even I've been looking on the housing market, the apps, and like people been cutting their homes by like $10,000, $20,000.
Yeah. It's because they were all inflated, and right now houses aren't moving for shit.
Dude, you notice that?
They're not moving.
Yeah.
I swear to God, like, I probably drive through the street, I want to say maybe 3 times a week. Yeah. this house has been on the market for almost, if I remember correctly, it's been a little bit over a year since this house has been on the market, dude. Like, that's crazy. You can't have houses just sitting there like that. There's no way. There's no way. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all overinflated. Everything is overinflated. Like, cars and houses are overinflated. Even goods too.
Yeah.
So if
people are running out of money.
Yeah, it's people running, exactly, is what it is.
Bro, because you can't afford shit. They keep printing money, and people are losing the purchasing power. Buying the cost to buy goods is going up. Insurance is going through the roof. Mm-hmm. One thing we're getting robbed by is property tax. One of the biggest robberies ever, bro. They assess your property and then they raise the value based on how much it's worth. And then so I was looking into property tax, why we have it. So the excuse people uses that it goes towards the goods of the city.
But I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, it makes no sense. We're paying state tax and federal tax. Why do we need to pay like a county tax too now?
Because it's supposed to go to our schools. Yeah, it's supposed to go to our hospitals, and just other city programs, or whatever it is. But it's bullshit because half of the things like in our city either are broken. Yeah. Or
the education system they're teaching people they're teaching kids what we don't want them to teach. Yeah. So like, why are we paying towards this shit? You know.
Not just that. So like, think about it. If everybody in a city is paying property tax on their property, right? And it's a good chunk, right, of change of 30% of it. The rest of it's like whatever, they pay a decent amount. If certain amount if 50% of that money gets allocated to schools, those schools theoretically they have a lot of money because they all, on top of getting that money from our taxes, from our property tax, they also get state funding, which we pay into that with taxes. So dude, think about it, like, wouldn't they have an infinite amount of money?
Yeah, money glitch.
It's a money glitch. And they're not teaching the shit that we want them to teach.
No, they're teaching bullshit.
Like, and teachers are already underpaid. So the excuse of saying, oh, well, we pay our teachers, because that's complete bullshit, because they get underpaid. Yeah. So it's misuse of the funds is what it is.
They're robbing us.
They're robbing us, bro. And they're robbing us out in person. People don't realize that.
Yeah, because I was looking at that property tax shit. That was making me hella mad, bro. Because
it is BS.
Yeah, because like once you have a property, you own that shit. Like, we're already paying sales tax. Some of that sales tax should go towards it. We're paying registration fees. We're paying for the roads. We're paying for everything. Like, hella taxes on taxes. You're paying taxes when you buy investment and it gains value. Mm-hmm. And once you have the realized gains, they tax the shit out of you. You know what I saw today?
21%.
Oh yeah, if you sell long term, if you end up in a certain tax bracket.
It's 21%,
and then,
bro,
like, why do they have a capital gains tax that's higher for selling something within a year?
Yeah, so that's complete BS, because if you hold on to a stock or whatever it is, short term, you're paying 21% on it, capital gains tax. But if you hold on to it,
higher than that, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like 30-something%.
Oh, so it went up, because it used to be 21%.
So they're saying, okay, so like if you're making a certain amount of money, like let's say under 49,000, that's with your income pay. If it's under, I think, like 39,000 or 45,000, you pay 15%. If it's over that, you're paying 20. And then if you're making over 500,000, it's 30-something% for holding over a year. And then if you're doing like short-term trading under a year, you're paying like, I want to say 30-something%, and it goes up. Oh. And then not only that, I noticed like states like California and like New York, you have to pay some shit. It's called the NIT.
NIT, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until recently. So if you make over 200,000, you're paying extra 3% on that.
3%, yeah.
So like if you buy an asset or like something like a stock and stuff, and it appreciates hella fast, they can tax you almost up to 50%, bro.
Yeah. Exactly, and they're not even lifting a finger.
Exactly,
They're not lifting a fucking finger.
You're
dude.
taking all the risk.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, you're using your
Your
already taxed income.
Money, yeah.
You're using your tax income to take that crazy risk, and then they're gonna fucking double dip, triple dip, fucking whatever dip, and they're gonna rob your ass.
Yeah.
Bro, that's robbery.
It is robbery.
They're stealing.
It is stealing. And you know what I find crazy
Just
about
because
this?
it's legal doesn't mean it's like
exactly.
Legal doesn't mean shit.
Legal doesn't mean shit because it's a mafia.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally a mafia. Is
the
what
banking
banking cartel. Yeah, but you know what's crazy is that you hear a lot of people here in the States, right, saying like, oh well, you know, we're a first world country, this and that, blah blah blah. But then as soon as you leave here, like this is a perfect example, right? I have a lot of people who are like family members who are from Mexico and stuff like that. Dude, in Mexico, when you buy your property, it's yours. You don't pay taxes on it. You may pay like your little bills or whatever, or a yearly fee, but it's yours. It's yours forever. Like you don't have it to where it's set up here like a system here. It's not like that. It's your property. Versus here, like you don't own your house. You may say you own your house, even if your house is paid off. You don't own it because you're still paying property tax on it. It's bullshit.
It's hella lame, bro.
Yeah, it's stupid. And even then, think about it like this too. People don't think about this shit, right? Say you have everything paid off. You don't have everything paid off. You can never get rid of your bills. That's one thing you'll never get rid of. You can have your house paid off. You can have your cars paid off. Your boat, whatever other little toys you have. You can have all that shit paid off. Credit cards paid off. But you can never finish paying your bills. Water bills can never get 100% paid off. Electricity bill can never get 100% paid off. TV, whatever, internet consumable, those can never be paid off. You can't walk into those places and say, how much is it for a lifetime?
Yeah.
You can't do it, dude.
And then you have a lot of these old people, they're getting screwed over because they can't pay the property tax or something, and then their home turns to the banks.
The banks.
Or the state.
That's one of the problems in Yellowstone, like in that show, supposedly, and I don't know if you ever heard of that.
I've heard of the show, but I haven't seen it.
So in the show, like in the last season, it was the last season. They're having trouble because the ranch or the property of the ranch is so big that the property tax is consuming them.
Wow.
It's crazy, bro. Like it shouldn't have to be like that.
Hell no, that's not.
It shouldn't have to be like that, you know, like.
That's hella wrong.
Like,
the crazy thing is people aren't questioning this shit. They're acting like it's normal. It's not normal, bro.
It's not normal, dude.
It's like slavery, bro.
It is.
They're enslaving us.
I don't think other countries, and I don't know. I mean, because I only know how it is in Mexico, but I don't know if other countries are like that. Like, I don't know. I would have to ask around, but it's not right. Yeah. You know, it's not right. Like, we already pay enough in taxes. We pay, like you say, we pay taxes everywhere. Groceries, food,
car registration, bridge tolls. We got these road taxes. Gas tax. Like, where's gas tax going?
Exactly.
We're paying income tax. You pay a death tax.
Mm-hmm.
Once you inherit a property from a family member, you're paying a tax on that. It's like they're stealing from you. Doesn't mean just because they say it's legal, it's not wrong. The whole point of having the running system is to make sure everything's running right and everybody's contributing the same. But
have you noticed though, like, if you look at it like on a big scale, how much money they're generating with all these individual taxes from every single state? It's a lot of money, dude.
It's hella, bro. And we're still in
debt.
Yeah,
like how can they not pay that off, you know? And then everybody's going to say, oh, well, everybody's, you know, using Social Security or using these social programs, blah, blah, blah.
That's all.
It's all
bullshit.
Fake, bro.
Half the people die like 10 years after they get Social Security or like once they retire, man.
And not everybody's on a social program. Not everybody's on welfare. Not everybody's on this. So it's still bullshit, you know?
Exactly.
I would say probably, I don't know, a good 25%.
And like all the money that's being owed, some of it's being paid for sure, right? But it's a never-ending debt system. Who's the money going to? Who's the money being owed to? Aren't they supposed to pay a tax somewhere? The banks, you know? Like
that's true, or interest.
Yeah, aren't they getting like unlimited money? Like, where's their taxes? They're not paying shit. Because if somebody's getting taxed, that means like everybody pays a tax. Everybody's supposed to pay a tax. If it's all going to one source, where's all that money going?
Where's all that money? It doesn't make sense, dude. Like,
that means there's one group of people that like running that shit.
Yeah, it's
the banking cartel.
Yeah.
So like once you find the source of all the problems, you're supposed to be like, yo, that's not right. Everything needs to be done. Something needs to be done. Not everything needs to be done, but something needs to be done where things change, because it's having a trickle down effect where it's affecting us mentally, emotionally. It's like it's killing people's souls. And this is causing people to mentally quit. Like, it's causing a lot of problems. It's leading to not property, but it's leading to poverty, violence.
Yeah.
And
did you know that
everything?
The leading cause of divorce is financial burden?
Yeah.
So, like, it's crazy, bro. Like, you can't... The fact that a financial burden messes up your relationship or your marriage, that's insane.
It's crazy.
It shouldn't have to be like that. We shouldn't have to wake up... Just like we shouldn't have to wake up thinking about... Oh, the 9 to 5 again. The 9 to 5. Yeah. We shouldn't also have to wake up about going to the 9 to 5 because we have to pay off all these taxes or all these bills. Like...
Yeah.
Maybe we put ourselves in this position where we're getting all these nice things that we can't afford. But besides that fact, because that's a different topic, we shouldn't have to think about paying all these extra shit.
Yeah.
Or even when we get our paycheck, we shouldn't have to be like, damn, I just got taxed, 30%, 40% of my paycheck. Because the government wants to take their fee,
Yeah, that's why I hope people that marry someone, they marry someone that's well aware of all this, because a lot of people are trapped in this system of, it's not even about covering needs. Now it's lately marriage has been about a game of wants. Somebody always wants, like, I've noticed this trend where people are saying, oh, I need somebody to pay this much for me. They need to make this much for me. And they confuse needs with wants, right?
Wants, yeah.
But your needs are like food, shelter, and clothing. And if you want anything extra, you can pay for that shit yourself.
Yeah.
Because the way relationship or whatever marriage should work is that two people are there for like each other, right?
It's a partnership.
Partnership, yeah. And then, but it's always like, oh, I need this Gucci bag or Coach, whatever the hell you want to call it. I need to be able to take like fancy trips, fancy dinners, all that, and it's all like orchestrated from social media. Most of those relationships, they're fake,
shallow.
Yeah, and then a lot of these people, they act like they're happy divorced, but they're getting played by the system because the divorce lawyers take the money, the court gets the money, and then it's two separate people split off. They're both paying taxes, and they're buying like people that are single. They're gonna spend more money, and then they're getting taxed on that shit, and then the system continues on, the cycle continues, but people aren't gonna pay attention to that. I'm over here, me and bro are over here like, what do they say? Yelling from the rafters or crying from the rafters, but it falls on deaf ears sometimes.
Deaf ears, bro.
But if you're smart, you'll wake up, you'll look at all this, and hopefully you like wake up from the matrix.
I agree,
because once you put those glasses on, life changes.
You'll be part of the club.
Yeah, but stay awake, guys. Make sure you stay awake.
Stay
be cautious.
Scam churches too.
Those guys, dude. You know what the crazy thing is? We're getting scammed everywhere, and then like they got a scam over there too.
Imagine going to church, bro.
You can't even escape the church.
Yeah, if you
or like religious organization.
Yeah, if you go to a religious organization and you got the homie preaching to you and he's wearing the newest Jordans, bro, and a Gucci jacket, Louis Vuitton suit, you're getting scammed. You're getting scammed. Just yeah.
Like, dude, it's crazy. I've noticed like even religious organizations at a smaller scale, people are fighting for power because then they want all the benefits that come with it. And then people in like city politics, they all want to get in because then they can do whatever they want. They can approve developments and shit for their homies or their families, and then it's a never-ending game of stabbing somebody in the back, shit like that, dirty shit. But
and if they tell you that you're crazy, bro, like think about it like this: are you really the one that's crazy, or are they crazy for following the system? There's nothing crazy about you. They're crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's cool to be the one that's standing out above the crowd. Half these people, they worship these celebrities and they like them because they're different, right? So you got to be the same way. You got to be different.
You gotta be different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
think about
can't
it differently.
you can't care about what people think. Half these
Nah.
people are sheep, anyways.
Exactly.
But all right, guys, let us know your guys' thoughts. It was a good pod to rant on. Be ready for more rants. That's just never ending.
No.
But we'll see you guys